Hey guys, KiraKennedy here with day 22 in my vlog every day in April challenge, and I'm not gonna lie, because I don't want to be in a situation where I was yesterday where I was posting the video at 11:59 p.m. And nobody saw it till the day after. I'm actually recording this right now, and I'm actually going to be going over, briefly going over my, my collection of music. Maybe if I have time, I'll go over my collection of DVDs and Blu-rays and games. But right now, let's start with the music collection. Alright, so here we have it. We've got a little Spider-Man model that I made, that me and my dad put together when I was, I think, 6 years old. I also had a Wolverine model, but that fell apart and I don't know how to fix it. But Spider-Man's always been kind of my favorite superhero. I also got a little Spider-Man and Iron Man Lego toys lying around, and this guy right here is from an old show called Skyhawks? I can't remember what the show was called. Stormhawks, that's what it was called. I can't remember his name, but my little brother used to love that show, and he had two of them, so he said if I wanted I could use that for my little toy display that you see right here. This is the toy display I usually see when I'm doing an episode of Hips and Interviews. There are some changes, but I'll go into that after the music collection. Alright, after that little tangent, we have the actual music collection. One thing you will notice here is that there is a lot of pop rock here, a lot of metal, a lot of Canadian stuff. Obviously Canadian because you gotta support the home country heroes. But lots of, even in terms of pop punk, it's very diverse. You've got a little bit of Plus 44, 5 Seconds of Summer. Yes, I do actually want a copy of that. The Academy is All American Rejects. Got a couple live CD DVD combinations here. All Time Low, straight to DVD. Avenged Sevenfold, live in the LBC. Green Day's Bullet in a Bible. Paramore's The Final Riot. And I think that's about it for the live collection. I've also got a lot of guilty pleasure stuff that I don't know why I liked in the first place. Like, yes, do not adjust your computer screens. That is an Ashley Simpson CD in my collection. I regret it every day, but I was in grade 8 when I bought that, so my grade 8 self apologizes as well. I've also got some nice Canadian music, Billy Talent, Black Tie Affair. That's actually my friend's band that I'm going to be covering in the next episode of Lost in Stereo. A couple pop-punk classics like Blink-182, Boys Like Girls, Calvin Hill. This is a local band. Actually, got to open up for them once back when I was actually playing music. No archive footage left of that, unfortunately. Cobra Starship, Here's What We Aim For. You may not have heard of those, but these guys were really big around the time. Fueled by Ramen was a huge label. Daughtry, David Cook, because I did have an American Idol phase, so I've got that. I've also got Season 8 winner Chris Allen. That's going to be covered eventually on Lost in Stereo. But yeah, most of these are albums by artists I've liked at one point or another, including this one right here, Fall Out Boy's Evening Out With Your Girlfriend. Funny thing about this is it's not actually available in Canada. I actually got this when I was in grade 11, and my parents and I went down to Rochester for a vacation. I actually also got, I think it was Viva La Cobra and... was it this one? No, not Fast Times at Ridgemont High, or Barrington High, sorry. Cobra Starship, and there was another one here. Oh, 4 Stars Live in Phoenix. That's another live DVD. It's a Fall Out Boy one, covering their Honda Civic tour, which their Toronto stop was actually the first concert I ever went to. My older sister took me to see that show. I've also got a couple collections from local artists. Like I said before, Black Tie Affair, Calvin Hill, another one, July, which is actually my cousin's friend's band. I might cover them at some point. And then there's this one, which is an interesting one, because this is one of three CDs I'd gotten while I was part of that internship that I talked about back in my time in radio video. But basically, Every time an artist came in, they would bring in all kinds of swag and stuff, and because I like to support my local music, I actually paid for these. So like, I think this was $10, $5, probably $5. But Mark Joseph Band, pretty cool band, pretty cool local band. Lights, not necessarily a local artist anymore because she's been around for a while. I actually got this at when I was first going to college for radio. I bought this at the Frosh concert because she was playing there along with another band right next to him, Mariana's Trench. Really nice guys. I think I actually got this one signed by their lead singer. Yep, signed by their lead singer, Josh Ramsey. Really nice guy if you ever meet him. I'm not gonna say go and harass. I'm not gonna say go and bug him, but you know, if you ever get a chance to talk to him, really nice guy. New Cities, Montreal band, I've mentioned them before. Yes, that is a Nickelback CD. I've got Nickelback and Ashley Simpson on here, don't judge me. Right next to Nirvana, some Our Lady Peace, Panic at the Disco, Paramore, Pink, Plain White T's. This is another one I got in the States, actually. Well, I didn't get this one in the States. This was actually originally my dad's because, as I mentioned in text in my I Want to Be a Singer review, or video, my dad really loves Hey There Delilah, so he bought that CD, and then when he found out he didn't like the rest of the songs, so I might actually review this one day for Lost in Stereo, because I've got some things to say about the Plain White T's. I've got some cover collections, Punk Goes Pop, volumes 2 through 4. I've also got one of the first albums my parents ever bought for me, the soundtrack for the first Pokemon movie. It's got an interesting mix of music on here. Billy Crawford, M2N. Most people won't remember these unless they were like hardcore 90s nerds. The only ones you might recognize, Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, NSYNC. Yeah, a lot of these people might not even recognize. And then continuing on with the music I bought at my internship. At the time, this was one of my favorite indie bands. The Reason, they're actually from Hamilton. Sorry about that, I had to answer a phone call very quickly, but as I was saying before, really nice guys these guys were. Again, I actually did pay for this because I like to support local music. Something non-music related, Russell Peters. Yes, I actually bought a Russell Peters CD. Not much to talk about with that. Silver Lane, this is actually the same guys in Caledon Hill. I've opened up for these guys a couple times as well. Nice guys, always gave me good advice. And of course from there we've got some Simple Plan. Funny thing about this one, still not getting any. It was one of the first to try something called a dual disc, where it was a CD on one side and then a DVD on the other. I can't play this anymore because both sides actually got scratched. I don't know if it was me, because I was pretty careless when I was younger, or one of my asshole classmates who, at the time, would make fun of me because I listened to Simple Plan. Yes, teenagers can be assholes. Then we've got some other stuff that I'm thinking of covering at some point. Stereos, Much Music, an alumni band from Disband, the same show that Abandon All Ships came from. Got some System of a Down here. Yet another band I met as part of my time at the podcast, Thought Beneath Film. Really nice guys, also from Hamilton. These Kids Wear Crowns. I've actually got two versions of their CD. Originally, both of them were signed. This one was when I first met them. Really, really nice guys. Awesome to talk to. This one I also got signed, but unfortunately I lost the case at the same event where I got it signed. Because I got careless and it slipped out, and somebody obviously picked it up and took it, so that's what I get for being careless. I've got some stuff from 3 Days Grace. I actually got to meet their lead singer, their former lead singer, Adam Gontier, back before. I think it was actually at the end of my first year at the podcast. Really nice guy, really cool guy. Yes, I do have the Twilight soundtrack. Funny thing, this was the reason why I originally started doing that thing in Hipster Ninja Reviews where I talk about the soundtrack, because this soundtrack, believe it or not, is 10 times better than the movie itself. Mainly because it's got a lot of artists I love to listen to, like Muse, Paramore, Linkin Park. And, not gonna lie, I actually don't hate their rendition of Bella's Lullaby. Probably one of my favorite non-indie geek songs on this album. And then, the last CD in my collection that I could fit on here, Reckless Intent, nice little collection of WWE music. Not the greatest, there's only a couple songs on here I listen to. Obviously, the former CM Punk theme, This Fire Burns by Killswitch Engage, which is probably the best song on that album. And actually, heading up a little, probably my favorite album in my collection, My Chemical Romance's The Black Parade. Anyone who grew up and was listening to pop punk music in the mid-2000s probably has this, and it I want to cover this at some point on Lost in Stereo. Probably not going to cover it after the Black Tie Affair, because this is probably what I'm going to be covering, just to get some diversity in there, so it's not all rock. And actually, the only reason that's not on the shelf is because if you look, it fits. It fits in some places, but I can't keep it on the bottom shelf because I like to keep my music in alphabetical order, and it will not fit. It's actually a little too wide to fit in there. So I usually just keep it here on my DVD shelf. Alright, and that's my music collection. Like I said, tomorrow I will talk about my movie, TV show, video game, and maybe go a little more in depth into my toy collection, but until then, if you guys would like to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter at KiraKennedyHNR, Tumblr at KiraKennedyHNR.tumblr.com, and of course you can always check out my Facebook page at facebook.com/KiraKennedyReviews. And as always, if you'd like to check out any of my past work, my Let's Plays, my stream archives, even my reviews, you can do so at peanutbutterdisaster.com. So until tomorrow, I'm Kira Kennedy, and thank you for watching.
Peanut butter disaster.